and Geico are going to be reacting to your enclosures.
I've worked my way through and reacted to every single enclosure that's been submitted. If you don't see your enclosure in this video, it was likely because it was one of the other previous 2 parts, so be sure to check them out. This was filmed the same day as part 2, so I am reusing the intro, but just a reminder, I don't rate any of these enclosures. That feels really terrible to me. Everyone's doing a really good job, and it's all about what works for you and your individual animal. I'm just giving tips based on things I would improve, but I'm definitely not an expert, and if something I'm saying doesn't work for you, that's completely alright. Do what's best for your individual animal.
You've already waited a long time, so let's just get started. Next pick comes from Bunny Lover, and she said she sent this enclosure picture before she got her rabbit, which is why the litter boxes don't have hay, but obviously now that she has them, they do. I think this is a great setup. I think it's a ton of space to provide a rabbit, so I'm sure that he's gonna love it, especially considering that most rabbits usually don't come from lives like that, so I'm sure that he's very grateful. I love how symmetric it looks. I like that he has 2 litter boxes. Even single rabbits will very much appreciate having 2 litter boxes, especially if you forget to clean one out one day or one is just a little bit more messy than they prefer. It's good that they have a second option. And I know when my rabbits have 2 litter boxes, they pretty much use one for eating their hay mostly, and then they use the other one to poop and pee in. And then I change out that one and I put hay in it, and then they use the other one to poop and pee in. So rabbits are really smart. So maybe you'll notice that one of them is like his mainly pooping and peeing litter box, and the other one is like his hay eating litter box. I love the big cardboard box in the middle. I think rabbit hides are super important, and I love that it also doubles as a second level. Again, just letting him stretch his back feet. I love all the toys that you have. It looks like you have a lot of DIY ones, which look really good. I love that there's kind of like a rug yoga mat in the center of the cage to provide him traction, a little bit of cushion on his feet. I would be careful because some rabbits are really obsessive chewers over foam. I know I had a yoga mat in my rabbit's cage for a while without issues, and one day they just decided to chew it, so I removed it. So maybe just watch for that because you really don't want them ingesting the foam. But overall, I think it's great. She also sent another setup that she did, which I think is also just as good. I want to know where people are getting this fleece because I am seeing it everywhere, and it's the coolest fleece I have ever seen. It's like holographic oil spill. It looks really cool, and I really want it. So let me know where you got it. But I think that looks awesome. Your rabbit is very much enjoying his royal treatment. I also love that it looks like you made a cardboard woven mat, which looks super cool. And it looks like you have one of those toilet paper tubes where you stuff treats into. So I'm sure that he's loving that as well. This next enclosure comes from Marley H, and they also have a YouTube channel called Bambi Bunnies. They have 2 rabbits. The white and gray bunny is named Daisy, and the gray rabbit is named Thumper. I absolutely love this setup. I think your gray and white rabbit is actually called a magpie rabbit. I absolutely love the gray and white rabbit Daisy. I'm pretty sure that her coloring is actually called magpie, which is my absolute favorite coloring of rabbits. Fun fact, I actually really didn't want to get Butchin because I really wanted to get a magpie rabbit. I'm obviously glad I got him, but I'm a little bit bitter because they are absolutely beautiful. And I love Thumper's white tail. I love rabbits that are a solid color with just a little white floof, so I think that's absolutely adorable. I love the flooring that they have. Again, carpet is one of the best floorings you can have for the rabbits. It's really annoying for us to have to clean, but I'm sure your rabbits love all the padding and all the traction that they get. I think the litter box looks a little bit small, especially for 2 rabbits, so I would consider getting like a cat litter box that's a square shape. It just fits their bodies a lot better. Some animals kind of like to back up their butt and just go in the litter box, but rabbits tend to put their whole body inside, so just having a rectangle works really well. You can also just use a Tupperware container if you have one laying around. Or not Tupperware. Tupperware would be really small. If you have a really big Tupperware container, or if you have those storage boxes, that would also work. I also love that the water is right next to the hay, so that's very convenient for your rabbits. I absolutely love the wooden house that you have. Let me know where you got it, because I would totally get one of those for my rabbits, because that looks so cute. Even if my rabbits didn't use it, I would get it just to admire because that is beautiful. I also like that there's another shoebox filled with hay, which is just another access for them. Again, when you have bonded pairs of rabbits, I always like to make sure that there's a hay and water source that is separated in case one rabbit gets territorial. So I think it's great that you have that. Tons of space. I love all the cardboard toys, and I think your rabbits are clearly spoiled and living the good life. Oh God, you pooped on me, bruh. I got pooped on. Some people want me to talk about like expectations versus reality of owning a lychee. I never expected to get pooped on, that's for sure. I get pooped on pretty much every time I take him out, which is fun. This next enclosure comes from Stewart, and this is a really good example of how to use a rabbit hutch. A lot of rabbit hutches are pretty small and not the best, but this is actually 6 feet long, 1.5 feet wide, and 1.5 feet tall, so I think it's actually a really good amount of space. She says that her rabbit is also able to free roam for 6 hours, and she says that she knows her enclosure is not the best, but this is the best that she can do right now. I think it's really important to acknowledge that not everyone is in the same life circumstances, and maybe you can provide something incredible for your rabbit, but another person just isn't there yet. It doesn't mean that someone should be shamed or told to rehome their rabbit. She clearly is doing a very good job, and her rabbit is very spoiled. So I think 6 feet long is a pretty big cage. Don't feel too bad about it. I think your rabbit knows that you love him. In terms of the hutch, I think it looks like you have bedding everywhere, which I personally wouldn't suggest. It's just pretty expensive, and I feel like it would be hard to clean. Also, if you're working on litter training, it can just be confusing for the rabbit to know where to use the restroom. Now in the future, if you decide to free roam 24/7, you can convert the entire hutch to be like a giant epic litter box, and then you can put bedding in the whole thing. But I think right now, when it's your rabbit's main living source, I just wouldn't do that yet. It looks like you have a corner litter box, which again aren't my favorite. If you could swap that out for a container that would fit in there, or even if you wanted to turn that whole little hidey house area into a litter box, I think that would work really well. I also love the toys that you have. It looks like you have this really cool fleece mat for them, and you have some hay and some wooden toys, so I think that's really good. I love that you have the clip-on bowls. Sometimes when rabbits are in smaller cages, they tend to knock over their water bowls, so having the clip-on one is really good. Overall, I think you're doing a great job. Don't feel too bad. I know, especially when we watch all these people on YouTube and we see all these different people, it's easy to feel like what we're doing isn't good enough. But just remember that everyone is in a different life circumstance, and I think your enclosure looks really good. I know that when you're watching YouTube, it's easy to feel like what you're doing for your animals isn't good enough because everyone else seems to be doing so much more. Please don't feel that way. It's important to realize that everyone is in completely different life circumstances. 2 years ago even, I could not have provided my rabbits everything that I'm giving them now. So you never know what the future holds, and you never know what incredible upgrades you're going to be able to do in the future. I think this is great for the time being, and I think your rabbit really enjoys it. This next enclosure comes from Lady and the Tramp, which is a great way to end off the very last enclosure. She has 2 adorable rabbits, one of which is a baby, and oh my gosh, I miss having baby rabbits. She didn't say, but I'm pretty sure that one of her rabbits is a tricolor mini Rex, just judging by how plush that coat looks, so I am so jealous. I think that's my sister's favorite breed and color of rabbits. She didn't say, but I'm pretty sure one of the rabbits is a tricolor mini Rex, and that's actually my sister's favorite breed and favorite color of rabbit, so I know she's going to be very jealous when she sees this. I absolutely love how colorful their cage is. I love all the pink themes. Again, I always wish I had girl pets just so I could do more girly themes, because I like buying my pets stuff that I like, but the stuff that I like is usually pink, so I feel a little bit bad. I love that they have this tent giant maze cardboard area. I think that looks super cool. I'm sure that they've learned the entire maze and just have a blast running through it. I also think it's so cool how you're able to put it together with all these different Barbie boxes and things like that. I really want to do something similar over the Christmas break, so I think that's a great inspiration. I also love that you're able to use a store-bought cage. A lot of people buy store-bought cages when they first get their rabbits, and then after they learn that they're unsuitable, they usually end up throwing them away. But I think this is a great example of how you can repurpose it. I love that there's a blanket on top so your rabbits can actually feel secure and use it as a hide. It looks like inside the cage they have a cardboard box. The litter box is kind of in the back behind all the cardboard boxes. If that's working for you, great, keep it. Litter boxes aren't the most attractive thing. But if you are having issues with litter training, especially with the baby, it might help to move the litter box a little bit more to an accessible area because rabbits use the bathroom constantly, and sometimes if it's an area that's hard for them to get to, they just don't end up using it. Also, it looks like a corner litter box. Again, I don't think it's the best for the way rabbits use them, so if you're able to provide a square litter box or a rectangular one, I think that would be a little bit better. Also, again, since you have 2 rabbits, I know one is just a baby, so it's probably not a huge need right now. But in the future, if you could get 2 litter boxes, I think that would be really good. I also love, it looks like a little hay net that you have. I think this is a really good option. And I also love that there's hay provided in the litter box. I know a lot of people are really insistent on wanting to use a hay rack or a hay net or something, and I think this is a really good way to, she has a little hay pouch that's really low on the ground, so her rabbits can use it without having to tilt their heads. And she also has hay inside the litter box, so they have access to that as well. Yeah, overall, I think this is great. Couldn't think of a better way to end off the video. I feel like there's some setups that are just filled with so much love, and I think this is clearly one of them. I think you can tell that you like picked out all the different fleeces and spent time arranging all the cardboard boxes. I feel like this isn't a rabbit house, this is a rabbit home, and I think it really shows in just how happy your rabbits look. Did you guys notice Geico's color change throughout the video? A lot of people don't realize that a lot of species actually change color, not just chameleons. Did you guys notice Geico's color change throughout the video, and which color do you prefer? A lot of people don't know that a lot of reptiles, not just chameleons, change color. Geico, when he's fired up, is a very deep army green with a lot brighter pinks, and when he fires down, he's kind of this super pale green all around. Let me know what color you guys prefer. I feel like he looks cuter at this stage, and he looks more derpy. But I think I prefer his fired up stage just for how bright his pinks are. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what videos you'd like to see next. And thank you guys for watching. And thank you guys so much for submitting. It's so fun to bond over animals. I don't know anyone who owns pets in my real life. So being able to chat to you guys is so much fun. If you want to email me updates and just send me pictures of your pets, please do. I love seeing them. You can also DM me on Instagram. So, okay, that's it from me. Bye guys.